Right, rear brakes. I remember when we did it at work on that scrap lorry. It took us ages to wind them off.
That might have moved a bit.
I reckon.
Maybe.
Oh. Oh my.
There you go.
Oh my. That's definitely a wound off handbrake. It's one hell of a spring, isn't it?
It is. Got to get that over that lip, so...
Yeah, I've got to wind them back quite a bit. Well, now it's free. Maybe you can wind the pads back using the 10mm, the 8mm on the back of the caliper.
Maybe.
Because we need to wind this gap in here.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst we can do, we could just take the pads out, to be fair. Here you go. Now there's no pressure on the actual brakes at all.
Such a nightmare to get into.
Yeah.
Only just fit your spanner in there. Turns one way.
That's good.
Just, you need a really short spanner. It's hitting the bloody diff. Can't get the ring end on. Oh, hang on, we might... I think it's moved a bit, yeah.
That's good. We can wind them pads in.
God, there's not much room. God, why do they make it an 8mm?
Yeah, I know.
Bloody ridiculous. It should be a 13. You look at the size of everything else on this. Yeah, pass me that camera, I'll sort of... I'll give you a tour of what we're dealing with here.
Alright, cool stuff, because this is very handy to show people.
So, there's your release. You see it winds out literally as long as the cylinder itself.
Yeah.
Sorry about the shadows, it's a bit of a nightmare under here. But, get me handy with the gloves. A bit of room that you've got to get into. Let me have torch off. Crikey. Yeah, it's just there, that little 8mm in there.
Behind
there's the
everything.
diff, there's the actuator, and it's in a massive recess. You can't get a socket in because it hits the actual actuator, so it's a pretty great design. But we'll get there.
Alright, I'll pause the video here, and hopefully the next video will be this caliper, or the brake pads at least, out.
That's an 8mm.
Let's hope anyway. I'm pretty sure it's a 17 for this. This one here, was it a 16? 16 or 17? Alright, so that actually came out better than we thought.
Another thing we'll mention is when you have to wind this back with the little 8mm on the back.
It's opposite of the
Yeah, it's
handbrake.
actually clockwise to wind this in, which is a bit weird.
Got that little piston in there. Yeah. But it's good. It works.
Aye.
Okay then. Let's put it back together again.
Yeah.
What more can we do?
Chip some of this off, I guess.
You could do that, I
Spin
suppose.
it round and chip it off.
It moves free.
Yeah.
Look at this lot. Look. And move in the prop shaft over there.
It's all free running.
It's very free running.
No play.
Yeah. You got heat play to compensate the fact it all warms up, but other than that, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's a rough looking disc, but it's not scored, which is alright. And it's just got a lip on it. Apparently he replaced these discs, the guy who we bought it off. That's what he says. The only even wear could be because these surfaces were never cleaned. What does that shim look like?
Like I say, this thing has been getting inadequate air for a while, because this little thing here, this little diagnostic T-point,
test point there, yeah.
The old one had cracked.
Yeah.
It was made out of aluminium, cracked here, and every time you press the brake, you lost all your pressure through that.
Yeah.
£5 later, a new one of these that's actually made out of steel.
And the brake actuates perfectly.
It works amazing, yeah. There's actually no leaks on this now. You
can imagine how much, how many PSI of pressure you was losing through that.
Yeah, because it was proper
hissing out of it, wasn't it? It was blowing all the leaves off the floor, so to speak.
So we're hoping that's why it had a parking brake efficiency fault.
Yeah.
Because this hasn't been worn, basically.
Properly.
Not properly, yeah. Compared to the other side.
Right, the brakes a bit while you go down to the MOT place.
That's what we'll be doing, yeah. Bed them in a bit.
Bed them in a bit, yeah. Aye, right, we'll chuck them pads back in again. We'll probably swap them round, actually, so they're on the opposite sides. Yeah.
You got to admit though, it is nice you can get a pretty big leak and your brakes do still function to an extent.
Yeah.
Hydraulic system, you get a pinhole and...
there's a nice crack going through that brake pad.
Yeah, MOT tester can't see that.
I have got another set of replacement pads for it.
Yeah, and rather nice, it uses the same caliper on the front.
Same caliper on the front and the back, yeah. It's just a different actuator bolted to it, which is very handy.
Yeah.
All brake pads fit.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is good. Right, pause the video here and we'll put it back together. We're happy with that. Right, this is the wheel on the other side. We've already undone a bit the wheel nuts on this side. We used a little torque converter thing with a crank handle on it, which it did them pretty good actually. Amazing tool. Definitely got to invest in one of those. Must use a planetary gearbox in it or something. 30-to-1 was it? Reduction? So yeah, it worked and some. We cracked all these off a couple of, was it yesterday I think? So we're just going to go underneath it now, jack this wheel up, undo them with the whizzy gun, and yeah, got a cupboard here which is held on very nicely. I think we'll just rip that off for the old MOT. He doesn't need that. Right, let's get under there and jack it up. Oh, are you jacking it up?
Can do.
Alright then, but you could do it being this side.
You do it then.
Okay, well, I need that.
Oh man, I wish we turned this thing round.
Yeah, I know. Oh, so where did all the tools go? Well, it's actually a different day, and it's a different day because I ran out of memory on my memory card, so I couldn't continue doing the progress. Well, the disc and the caliper on this side are perfectly fine. The caliper floats just as free as a brand new one, pretty much, on this side. A little bit more free than the other side, but they both float pretty damn well. The disc on this side is immaculate. It looks like it was put on yesterday. Well, looks like it was put on last year, with very low miles of use. There's a bit of corrosion on the outer rim, but other than that, it's fine. Brake pads, loads of life left on them, loads and loads. So we're happy about that, and that is that. All well and good. So yeah, that concludes the rear brakes. All good.